Aristotle and the origins of realism. To understand the realism versus nominalism debate, we have to go way back to ancient Greece and the philosophical heavyweight, Aristotle. Aristotle had a different take on reality than his teacher Plato. Plato thought that the most real things were the forms, existing separately from the physical world. Aristotle was like, hold on, the universal isn't floating somewhere in the sky. It is in things. For Aristotle, substance is key. It's what exists in its own right, not just in something else. Aristotle divides beings into 10 distinct categories, including substance, quality, quantity, and relation. He gives substance a privileged position. Substances are fundamental for predication and metaphysically fundamental. Aristotle tells us that everything that exists because substances exist. If there were no substances, there would not be anything else. Think of it like this. A smile or a haircut can only exist in something or someone. They can't exist on their own. But a person, a tree, those things can exist on their own. Aristotle called these primary substances. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Aristotle believed that each of these individual substances has an essential form that makes it what it is. This form isn't just some accidental feature. It's what defines the thing. It's like the blueprint or the DNA that determines what something is meant to be. For example, a human being might be defined as an animal having the capacity to reason. Animal is the genus, the kind under which the species falls, and having the capacity to reason is the differentia, what characterizes the species within that genus. Aristotle says that primary substances are the fundamental entities. Everything that is not a primary substance stands in one of two relations, inhering or being set of to primary substances. If there were no primary substances, there would be no secondary substances, species, and genera either. These secondary substances are just the ways in which the primary substances are fundamentally classified within the category of substance. This is where we see Aristotle's realism start to take shape. For Aristotle, these essential forms aren't just ideas in our heads. They're real features of the world, present in the individual things themselves. The form of the human is always found in flesh and bones and parts of this sort. While Aristotle emphasized that these universals, these forms, are in things, not existing separately like Plato's forms, this idea of essential forms is still a starting point for realism. It suggests that there's something more to reality than just the individual objects we perceive. There are underlying structures, essential qualities, that make those objects what they are.